How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Welcome to the 1 year anniversary of Get Off the Damn Fence. What's going on, everybody? We thank you for tuning in tonight. It's been 1 year ago on June the 18th, 2024, that we premiered. And 1 year later, we still going strong with the first weekly podcast by this crew. And I'm happy to be joined by Calvin Thomas, Justin B. the Barber Harris. Gentlemen, how y'all doing? Happy anniversary.
Man, I thought that was snow at first, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's a celebration.
One thing that's always interesting. I've known y'all for 20 years. I don't know what it is about me and Justin. Whenever something happens, we make eye contact.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
I have no idea why.
Because you're both shady. That is the problem.
You took me back on that one. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, folks, it has been a joy. Look, we've done many shows. It's not like we've only been podcasting for 1 year, but me and Calvin done the LNC Lock Show. We did that for off and on for 8 years, 10 years, something like that. We started podcasting as a crew. I remember we did podcasts back on Uvo. Remember that platform back in the day? Like, that was all the way grainy. That was like 2009, 2010. So we've been podcasting a while.
What should happen on Uvo?
Yeah, a lot of that. But on a consistent basis, this is the first time that we've gone the entire year. LNC Lock Show was just football season. We did the NBA sports podcast. Justin was on that one for a while, and we stopped when everything happened with Colin Kaepernick. And we didn't cover football any longer. I mean, there's different reasons why we stopped. Life happened. People had kids, marriage, all that kind of stuff. But this podcast, 1 year straight, has been together. And I thought it would be fitting to commemorate the occasion, the auspicious occasion, by doing a little something different, a little something special. And check this out.
Congratulations to the guys of the Get Off the Damn Fence podcast, Larry, Justin, and my husband, Calvin. You guys are celebrating 1 year of hosting the show. You guys brought us sports news, laughs, shade, mess, and everything in between on Facebook Live every week. And I can't say enough how proud I am of you guys. You guys managed to find brotherhood, and it is so important in the Black community. And I just wanted to thank you so much for my part of the show, even as a supportive wife in the background or as a special guest being able to be on the show and watch a Ravens game live. Again, thank you so much for everything you guys are doing. The podcast is booming, and I can't wait to be able to watch it for more years to come.
Hey, Mrs. Harris here. Justin Harris's AKA B.A. the Barber's wife. I just want to take this time to say congratulations on hitting your guys' 1 year of consistent Get Off the Damn Fence with his buddies Calvin and Larry. Y'all are killing it. I can't wait to see what the second year brings for you gentlemen. Just keep rocking and doing what y'all do. Congratulations. Bye.
Larry, Calvin, Justin, happy 1 year anniversary for Get Off the Damn Fence. So excited to be celebrating this milestone with you guys. I really enjoyed watching you over the past year. You've been fun, you've been informative, you've been entertaining, and I'm really looking forward to what's next for this podcast. So congratulations again, and keep up the good work.
Congratulations, fellas. 1 year. 1 year strong. And like I said, a lot more to go. So that was great. We appreciate that from the ladies. Calvin, your thoughts? All right.
Did he? Oh, come
He's
on!
muted
With the
himself.
connection
He's
on
muted
the anniversary.
I apologize. I was arguing in the background. It was a wonderful surprise.
Beautiful. Justin, thoughts?
Us dark-skinned brothers clearly love the caramel shade. I'll say that.
And on that note, we'll get on with the show for tonight. Jeez Louise. We got a lot to cover. So we done all the superlatives. We thank you all. We're enough patting ourselves on the back. Now, tuned in tonight, and that's to talk about all the latest reports. And some big news came out this afternoon. If you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, you know exactly what we're talking about. The Ravens went out and made the move that we talked about that they needed to make, and that was they signed Jair Alexander, cornerback, former of the Green Bay Packers, former teammate of Lamar Jackson in college at Louisville. So once he was free, those discussions started happening, and boom, 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 Lamar made the call. The Costa made the move, and now he's a Baltimore Raven. Calvin, your thoughts?
Excitement. I feel like for the first time, maybe in this franchise history, they're going all in. Mm-hmm. This is the first time where I feel like they're saying, "Look, we done knocked on the door a couple times. We ain't knock it down yet. We're going all in." And I'm excited. Not only because we have a franchise quarterback, and if you strike out this year, you still have that franchise quarterback, but to see this team say, we're going to go all out, we're going to give it our all, we're going to put as much talent on the field as we can on offense and defense. I'm not upset. I'm excited for the season. With the Orioles being down, it was kind of just waiting for football season. Now I'm just more excited for training camp, just to be out there for fantasy, just around. The energy is just great for this Ravens team. So I'm excited.
Definitely. Justin, your thoughts? I know you're not a Ravens fan, but what was your thoughts when you heard about the Ravens adding another tremendous piece to the excellent secondary that already exists?
I think y'all tried to get him too.
I think most of the league tried to get him, to be honest with you. I mean, Lamar Jackson definitely made the phone call and told him, don't even worry about the price. 1 year, $6 million, $4 million, and guaranteed $2 million incentives.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
$2 million incentives. Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, you can't, I feel like, if this was the NBA, they would have vetoed this trade or something like that. They would have vetoed it or something like this is ridiculous. But, you know what I'm saying? It's a good look for your team. It's a good look for the Ravens. Like I said, you definitely got a vaunted secondary now, and it's hard to – we're going to get into it. We're definitely going to get into it later on in the series or whatever. But at the same time, just looking at it, like, you're going to really need a stout offense in order to contend with this defense. And it's no longer going to be, hopefully the defense holds water throughout the whole entire season, and then it gets better. No, it should start off very strong to match Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Oh, did you see the OTA pictures of Derrick Henry in the? Oh man, he's ready. It's you guys, hey man, the better y'all look, the easier it is for y'all. The harder the y'all is for y'all to fall. Just a nice drop. So hopefully that drop comes in the last game of the season.
You think it's a backhanded look? We're gonna take care of you next year when we restructure Lamar type of issue.
Almost definitely.
Because 1 year, $4 million
is that's what it is. But hey, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's relationships. Yeah. And he wanted to be here. I heard they was asked. I was listening to the radio when Laura, you sent the text to the group. I was like, yo, they didn't even announce it on the radio yet. What's going on? Like the 105.7 and. It was like, yo, Lamar. They had asked Lamar about
yesterday.
It. Like, hey, how do you feel about it? He was already in the building. He was probably he knew. Yeah. For him and everything. So, Lamar Jackson just, hey man, that's what you want to do. You want your main guy to you want to be good enough for talent to want to come. That's the end goal. Yeah, that's the end goal. That's what the Chiefs have been doing for the longest time, so on and so forth. You want your main guy, your best guy to be good enough. You want your team to be good enough, solid enough, whereas though high talent wants to come maybe not at the highest price. So shout out to y'all for making it happen.
Yeah, and that's a great point you made about not taking the highest dollar because you want an opportunity to win a championship. You know what I mean? Like you say, Calvin, I agree with you. I think they pushed all that chip to the center of the table. Because if you look at this defense, the issues that we saw last year, and I said this, remember, we were the 32nd worst pass defense in the league for the majority of the season. We turned it around once they made some moves, moving Kyle Hamilton back to the deep safety. That's been well documented. But now, no more Brandon Stevens. You don't have to hide. You don't have to sugarcoat. Now you can legitimately say you have an emerging star in the Nate Wiggins who can hold his own over on your right side. And now you got a Pro Bowl corner who can handle one side of the field. You can shade the safety to the other side to help Nate. Marlon can play the slot legit. Don't forget, you went out and drafted a stud at corner.
TJ Tampa is on your team. I was like, yo,
Louisier, you got some.
Let's talk about getting him as safety, get him on the field more too.
Whatever works.
Well, y'all gonna have to come up with some of that talent though. Y'all ain't gonna be able. Somebody gotta go.
Why not? I mean, look, that's the one thing.
The only person you paying is Marlon, and I think he took a pay cut.
And Marlon is what this year's the last year, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
this is the last year, so
you gotta pay Alexander, of course, next year. But and a Kyle, you know what I mean?
You gotta pay Kyle,
yeah. But Malachi Starks, rookie. Nate on his second year. You know what I mean? You can build something here if you do it right.
And you have pieces to move around because you can extend or restructure Roquan. You could do the same thing for Matabike. You could do the same thing for Lamar. So you have money to move around. And while this window is here,
you gotta win. You gotta win.
All counts in the offseason so far is that everyone has 100% buy-in in your coordinator. So none of that rookie defense, right? Yeah. So none of that rookie issues.
He got better.
He got a season. He got better through the season.
Yeah, he got better. He got better. Yeah. And they stabilized things once they brought DMPs in there. He was able to really settle some things down. But anyway, on the surface, like I say, bar an injury, we know that can change anything. This looks good. You know what I mean?
About the pass rush?
No, because like I was examining the roster earlier today, just thinking about, okay, where's my weakness? And I'm not high on Trent Simpson. That's well documented. But
I was gonna make a comment about that,
but his second year, he was a young player last year. He hopefully he's been working out with Roquan. I was reading
he got put on some muscle too.
Yeah, so hopefully he comes in ready to roll. Owe had 10 sacks last year. Quietly. You went out and stole a pass, one of the best pass rushers in the draft because he had those two domestic violence allegations against him. So it's not like his play on the field was the reason why he dipped down in the draft. He was a great player that people just had an issue about his off the field stuff. I think he's going to be the probably one of the best rookies in the league. And they talk about he's redoing what pass rushers. So no, I'm not worried about pass rush. Could you add another veteran pass rusher? There's plenty of them out there on the cheap. Yeah, you could. But I really don't see, other than Trenton Simpson, who I want to see how he works out. But then you think about it. You got nickels. You got safeties who can help with the pass now. You can play more dime and nickel. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can run two linebackers, middle linebackers, and be fine.
I still want one more pass rusher. It doesn't have to be an elite, just another body to rotate because I don't know if I can trust a Jabo to be there the entire season. So if you tell me I got Van Noy, I got Owe, I got Mike Green, and I have insert this pass rusher, I'm okay. Because if I have to rely on a Jabo to be healthy for 17 games and to potentially play big downs late in the season, I don't know if I could do that yet. Or I don't know if I can do that. And this is year 4 for him. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that'll ever be able to happen. So I would like one more pass rusher, but if they don't, I'm okay.
Yeah, again, we picking their heads here. I think this team, like I say, the pressure's on Lamar, the pressure's on that offense to hold up that end of the deal. I think they can do it, but the pressure's on.
I don't think the pressure. Let me say, I don't think the pressure's on Lamar in the regular season. We
know it. But no. I disagree with that because part of the problem is seeding. And I will argue, had that game been in Baltimore last year, it might have been a different outcome. But instead, you had to go to Buffalo.
It was snowing that day.
Yeah, you had to go to Buffalo. And that might have been a difference in – look, you cannot give away games to to the Vegas Raiders. You can't give away games to Cleveland. You can't give away these games that hurt you later in the year.
Yeah, I agree. No. You're going to have
regular season matters.
You're going to have a bad loss, but the key is you can't have 3 bad losses.
You can't.
You can have one. Okay, cool. But you could lose to Cincinnati unexpectedly, but therefore you can't lose to Cleveland. Like it has to balance out.
The reason why the Ravens went out and made this move is because look at the division. Now you got Aaron Rodgers. Not saying he's the Aaron Rodgers of old, but you still got Aaron Rodgers who has potential to hurt you when he can. You still got Joe Burrow, and then who knows who Cleveland's going to roll out there. So.
The interesting thing is you look at Cleveland. You look at Pittsburgh. There's no Watt yet. and he's unhappy with his contract. Look at
That's
Cincinnati, same thing with Hendrickson. He's unhappy with his contract. So the defenses of your two biggest rivals are missing arguably their best defensive player going up against this offense. Now, granted, I don't think they play their division till late in the year, so something can happen between now and October, November, whenever they play them. But at least for right now,
yeah,
you got like the way.
But anyway, great move. I like it, and we'll continue to monitor this. Of course, we're going to do a full preview of every team, but especially the Ravens heading into the season. But this was a huge splash, man. This was a huge splash, and I'll commend the Ravens. Let's move on to the NBA Finals. So look, man, the last we spoke, this series was 2-1. Indiana had just gotten a big victory, in Game 3. I thought Calvin, you made a statement. Will this series be over by the next time we record? Like, no. Now, all of a sudden, by OKC winning these last 2 games, they completely been in the driver's seat. And I will be the first to say this. Look, tip your hat to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Tip your hat to Jalen Williams. Those guys in back-to-back games came up huge, especially in the fourth quarter of Game 4? Oh, my goodness. That was Friday night. Must-win game. And Shai just went to work. I mean, that fourth quarter performance probably, that cannot be overlooked. How he's bucket, defensive stop, bucket. I mean, I think they held the Pacers to like 1 field goal in the last 2 or 3 minutes. They went on like a 12-0 run, 12-1 run, something like that to close the game.
In Indy.
Absolutely stunning to even that series back up. And then they come home and get a big victory in Game 5. Great win for the OKC Thunder. Now they have an opportunity to close this thing out. Man, what was your thoughts, Justin, when you saw this game? How the series just spit on his head after Game 4?
I was low-key crying tears of joy, being the fact that I ain't got to worry about Indiana winning this damn series. I just couldn't live with that in the offseason. As a Knicks fan, I just couldn't deal with it. So those 2 brothers, even the other Williams showed up. Everybody showed up. Everybody's been participating to a high level, and Indiana is just running out of gas. Halliburton is injured. He played horrible. He should not. Look, if you can't play, don't play. If you can't play, don't play. You can't be a liability out there. And in Game 5, he turned out to be a liability. And his boys didn't necessarily come in and help him out this time. There was no Neimark.
TJ McConnell.
TJ held it down, which is why he should have been playing pretty much as soon as Halliburton got hurt. But that's call out, and that's his coaching. I'm not going to knock a championship coach, but he should have noticed that. He should have just took Halliburton out the game. Hallie won't. Well, I think he's not playing Game 6, and it's over.
Is that official?
That's what they're saying. It's not official yet, but they say he's extremely doubtful. Not like he's probable. And they went to extremely doubtful. And like I said, if he does play, how good is he going to be? Unless they can truly shoot him up with a whole bunch of drugs that I cannot pronounce. So it is what it is when it comes to him. It's just Neesmith. I was waiting for him to have a huge game. He did not. Only person, like you said, TJ showed up. Pascal Siakam showed up, and that's not going to be enough. You're going to have one more guy put up some serious points. I got Pascal putting up another great game. He is Mr. Consistent when it comes to that team as much as you can be consistent, right, on a high level. So Pascal's going to do his thing. Maybe TJ won't have the same exact game. It's going to have to be somebody else. They're going to game plan for TJ. TJ's not going to have the same exact game. So Neesmith, Miles Turner. Miles Turner, can you give me more than 14, 15 points? I need you to have a 25-point performance in order for them to withstand this onslaught that's about to come to them. But it's too little, too late. No Halliburton, no chance. This game is over. OKC champions.
Calvin, your thoughts?
I completely agree. I mean, we didn't even mention how in Game 5, Jalen Williams was the best player on the court. Court with Shai, with Pascal. Jalen Williams went off. There was not a shot that he couldn't make. He was getting to the basket whenever he wanted to. he took over that game in a must-win game because I don't think they go and win in Indiana if they're down 3-2 going back there. So you got to give it to Jalen Williams. Great performance on Game 5, but with no Halliburton, with him banged up, the engine to your car, I don't like their chances as well. They had 2 chances. They had Game 4 and Game 5, did not win either of them, and that's what's going to lose them this series. You were up at home in Game 4. Could have took a 3-1 lead. You lose that game, you go down. They let them even series 2-2, and even Game 5, it was even. They were hanging around to early in the 4th. I mean, they couldn't stop Jalen Williams, but they were going bucket for bucket with him. So when you look back, that's going to be defined this series. In addition, with no Halliburton, I mean, I heard that he's a game time decision, but if it's a calf, we've heard this before. So do you really want to play in a Game 6, which you're not favored, which you're already going to be compromised, and then potentially, make the injury even worse? So,
no, I agree. I give Jalen Williams credit because in Game 4 he was consistent throughout. Shea went quiet. I think Shea was held to like 1 field goal for the majority from the second quarter on, but then that 4th quarter he just turned it on. And it was just
got
ridiculous.
Everything.
Then in Game 5, Jalen Williams, I mean, Shea was still good. Shea wasn't terrible.
He's at 30. He had 31.
Yeah.
I think.
31.
He was under the weather. I believe they said he wasn't
He had 40.
He did.
40 in the finals is crazier.
Yeah, man. That's what role playing. Well,
I ain't gonna say a role play. I mean,
he's an all-star.
He's an all-star.
He was all NBA. I didn't think I thought he was all NBA, not an all-star.
No, he was on the all-star team. Might have been all NBA.
And he was 3rd team. I knew he was 3rd team all NBA. I didn't think he was all-star.
But he formed great, and defensively they got back to what they're known for. I mean, steals, causing ruckus, and a lot of that I think could be attributed to not having Halliburton, and he is their primary ball handler. Yeah. But you also got to give credit to what's his name, little ball-headed white guy, Caruso, man.
Yeah, and that 4th quarter, that 4 straight turnovers in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it was like Caruso been playing huge. Game 4 and 5.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Game 4, I think he had about 20. You know what I mean? Like consistent.
On the road.
Yeah, big shots. You know what I mean? Scrappy on defense. Hey, I give OKC all the credit in the world. Again, a week ago, we wasn't sure about where they was going to be. Yeah. And I give them credit for turning this thing around. Yeah. And this has been huge, man. And again, this is a career-defining series. To turn it around like this, I think this only elevates Shea. This puts Jalen Williams in a different stratosphere, the way you think about him. Because look, we would have been talking about Obi Toppin and that performance he had and some of those big plays he had in Game 4, and then they choked it away down the stretch. But anyway, I'm not saying it's completely over because I don't think Halliburton is the offensive threat that you feel like, without his scoring, they won without him scoring big. Somebody else needs to step up as the primary ball handler. That's the problem. And the way OKC plays defense and the way they pressure the ball, I don't know who that guy is for this team. Go ahead, Justin.
How about say the fact that you have these 2 stars on this team, and he was an all-star. I just confirmed it. It's almost like they took over. They're a better version of Boston. Dare I say it?
Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum.
Shea is better than Tatum, and Jalen Williams and Jalen Green. That's a push.
Shea is definitely better than Tatum. That's not even a question.
Yeah, he got an MVP to show for it.
And Shea had 2 in some people's eyes. Tatum is never. I made an argument for Tatum being MVP 1 year. Y'all
Tatum can't
crack
I got Jalen Brown and Jalen Williams.
We got tape on that, Calvin.
That's a push.
We got tape on you arguing against Tatum. So now you want to double back?
I just that statement just caught me off guard.
It's here. This is
the reality of what the situation is. Anyway, so we got Game 6 will be Thursday night, tomorrow night, back in Indiana. Can they win on that home court? Like I say, anything can happen at home. You get Neesmith or them boys get hot from 3. You get
yes.
You know what I mean? Anything can happen.
I would not take the chance that they can win away from
no Halliburton.
If you can run that offense through Pascal and those role players can get hot here and there, they can win at home. 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 But again, injury aside, I'm not going to go as far as some people are saying Halliburton was a complete choke job. But he was talking a lot of smack. And then before he was hurt,
this
in game 4, he choked down the stretch. I don't care what nobody say. Go back and watch game 4. He was shooting airball threes. He was making ill-advised passes with the basketball, sloppy with it. And then the whole series fell on his head when he came back into the game. They were actually up when he went to the bench, which was very, very. They had the game in hand. They had an 8-point lead with just over 2 or 3 minutes left. And all of a sudden, it all came crashing down. You can't talk all that smack. I'm here, I'm him, and all this other stuff. Trying to call people out for underrating you and stuff like that. And then you unravel in the NBA Finals. Yeah, I'm sorry. You don't get points for that. I mean, he got more than what y'all assumed. Y'all, Justin, you said it was over in what? Sweep? Initially?
I said they was going to win 4 straight.
You said 4. You said 2. Don't try that. Don't try that.
So, again, I'm not going to complete call it a choke job, but he got some answers. What you think, Calvin? Does injury excuse everything?
And I mean, he was injured the entire series. I guess it just got progressively worse as he played on it, and then until game 5 when it kind of just it just went, I guess, for lack of a better term. But you still got to perform, and look, you got to perform. You got to be out there. If you're no one is 100% at this time, so you got to fight through it. You got to keep going. This may be your only chance at a title. You want to be able to say if you lost, you left it out there on the court. I don't know if he can say that, and I think that's the problem. It's no problem if you give it your all and you lose. You don't want to lose, but you still got to be able to say you gave it your all. You don't have any regrets. I don't know if he can say that as much as he's done throughout this postseason. He's a huge part of the reason why they made it this far. But to get to this point and not be able to continue to try to win this title, you were up 2-1. No one expected that. You won game 1. No one expected that. You were up game 4. Could go up 3-1.
Could have had 3-1, man. Could have 8-point lead.
So I think choke is the wrong word. I think it's a disappointment for his performance the last 2 games. I don't want to say choke yet. If he doesn't play game 6, then the last thing we see with him is game 5, then we can have that conversation. But I'll say it's a disappointment.
Well, he got game 5 injury, so that's his way out.
Yeah. That's 30 minutes in game 5, though, right?
I got hurt.
He played 30 minutes and had 0 points. If you
can't hurt, score 0, man. I'm sorry.
If you're hurt, don't play.
You shouldn't be on the court. Play.
That's what I said, but that's going to be the excuse. We don't remember the minutes. We remember what the reason was. The reason was
0 points.
I remember the 0 points.
It wasn't 0 points in 2 minutes.
That's he pull up, get me, and pull Paul Pierce, get me the wheelchair, get me out of here. That guy was out there the whole time. I'm sorry. Hey, you're a liability. Caruso was running circles around you. Come on. Nah. Yeah, buddy. Sorry, you can't talk that smack. Anyway, game 6 is on Thursday night, and we'll continue to monitor this. But this made me think of something. An exercise here for this show. And we've been talking a lot about superstars and what makes a superstar and what defines a superstar. So I said I'm going to ask the old Google machine, what is a superstar? And it says a superstar in the NBA is a player with exceptional skill, popularity, and an impact on the league. They often lead their team to success, draw significant attention, and are widely recognized for their talent and achievements. And then they give some examples. But for the sake of what we do here, as our 1-year anniversary of Get Off the Damn Fence, I think it would be very fitting for us to go through a few names of different superstars or just players around the league. And it's 3 of us here, so we'll break the tie. We're going to vote. They just quick. This can't be if you got to think about it too long, they ain't a superstar. But we want to categorize these people. So I came up with 4 categories. Let's see here. All right. I thought I did. All right. Here we go. Yeah. All right. So you got your superstar, your all-star, your star, and your role player. Y'all think that's fair? Those categories?
I like it.
You could have cut role play out, but yeah, that's cool.
I mean, but I think some people who people consider a star, I don't think this. I think they might be
Right.
star.
If you're not a star, you're a role player.
You're a role player at best.
You're an NBA player. There we go.
All right. So first name on the list, Karl Anthony Towns. Which category would you put him in? Calvin, go.
Star.
Justin.
He's an all-star, man.
I'll give him all-star. All right. So we'll put Cat in.
Don't hate. Yo, that hatred is crazy.
He all-star. I give it to him. He all-star.
We gotta be fair.
Yeah,
we gotta be fair. All right. Next player. Jaylen Brown.
All-star.
All-star.
All right. So I have an assumption here that we're going to have a lot of all-stars. Jason Tatum.
I'll say superstar.
Wow.
Y'all gonna say all-star already now.
What'd you say, Justin?
I got
all-star.
I agree.
I was about to put him in that star.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Donovan Mitchell. Y'all gonna stop playing, my man, but go ahead.
Who first?
All-star.
Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, my fault.
Star.
I said it.
Yeah,
disrespectful guy.
You can't be a star. You first team All NBA.
Thank you.
All-star.
I ain't gonna say that.
Ah,
I ain't gonna say that.
Jalen Brunson.
All-star.
Superstar.
All right. This is easy. All right. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Here we go.
Superstar.
Calvin, your thoughts. Superstar? Justin, what you got?
Superstar.
I think this is solidifying it for him. All right. So we are officially on the board with our first superstar. So he has set the bar. If you're not a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander type player, you're not a superstar.
My superstar assumes title as well. That's all I'm saying.
Huh?
All right, just
for
keep
Shea.
going.
For
Just
Shea.
keep going.
For Shea.
Okay.
He's assuming that he wins this series.
He assumes. Okay. I get that. Okay. Okay. Anthony Edwards.
All-star.
All-star.
Okay. I agree. Tyrese Halliburton.
Star.
Justin.
He's now an all-star.
Okay.
I think this run has been all-star like.
I'm okay with that.
He's a star.
So y'all lost to a star.
Victor Wembanyama.
I mean, he wasn't.
They got hot.
He wasn't MVP.
Victor, until proven otherwise, is a star.
Calvin.
I agree.
I agree 100%.
I agree.
I'm so glad with y'all. KD.
Are we talking about currently, or is this at one point?
This is that's the question we need to answer. If you were ever to have reached the statue of superstardom, can you lose that statue?
Yes.
Can you hit the peak and not beat it?
Yeah.
So what do you consider KD?
He
current day.
At one point was a superstar, now he's an all-star.
So where would you want to? What do
I'll
you
put
feel
him all-star.
comfortable
Put him
labeling
all-star.
him as?
Put him
You
as
don't think
all-star.
KD is a superstar player?
Not right now, no. At one point was he a superstar? Yes. Is he playing at the same point he was? No.
I'll break the tie since you said that. I'll tie it up. And let Justin break the tie. I think he's a superstar. Your thoughts, Justin?
Kevin Durant still a superstar.
Teams will move heaven and earth to get him right now. He's a superstar.
I disagree with that statement because he would have been gone.
Teams will move heaven
when was
and
the
earth
last
to get him.
time a superstar? Now, I'm not saying he was never a superstar, so let's get that out of the way. But I don't think you are a superstar and you miss the playoffs and the play-in.
I don't think. Okay, well let's see if that proves out. Okay. That's your opinion.
But I'm saying he was a superstar at one point. But is he a superstar right now? No. So if you're saying was he ever a superstar, my answer would be yes, superstar. Is he a superstar right now? My answer is no.
So if you are a team that needed another player in free agency, you wouldn't make a move to try to get KD on your team. You don't think that's
I don't think
part of being what a superstar is? He's a change maker.
I don't think he fits with certain teams, but that's part of not being a superstar.
Okay. All right. So you think he's just an all-star?
I think right now he's an all-star, but was KD a superstar at his peak? Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep saying that somebody's gonna say I didn't say he's a superstar.
I'm clipping it. James Harden.
So y'all go first.
Justin.
All-star.
Calvin.
All-star.
And even though he was was he ever a superstar? That's a good question. Justin, was he ever a superstar?
Was he ever a superstar? Had he stayed in Houston, yeah.
Calvin, was he ever a superstar?
Too soon.
I find it hard to believe you are not a superstar if you won an MVP. So I'll say he was.
So it doesn't mean you just had to win a title. MVP equals it as well.
He MVP top 2-3 seasons going head to head with the Warriors, one arguably the best team ever, in my opinion. That 16-17 team, that says a lot.
All right, cool. Steph Curry, I think we all agree. Superstar.
Yeah.
All right. Paul George. Justin.
Star.
I thought you were going to say role player. I was getting ready to
That's what I'm saying. Role player. Role player.
At his peak, he was an all-star. I ain't mad at role player. I think he's a tier below Halliburton, in my opinion, right now.
Role player. I agree with that 100%.
I ain't.
That's what he is. What are we doing here? When was he ever a superstar?
I never said that.
An all-star. He was a solid all-star.
In Oklahoma City, that second, for that first year in Oklahoma City, I think he was an all-star.
But we talking about right now, the same way you try to treat KD, at least it was a debate.
Yeah, expensive-ass role player right now.
He is. He a podcast P. Kawhi Leonard.
I ain't hating.
Kawhi Leonard. Justin.
Star.
Calvin.
All-star.
If James Harden up there, Kawhi's up there. You kidding me? That man's a champion, 2-time champion, former Finals MVP.
But you're talking about previous,
and he was playing great.
Wait. You're talking about previous.
When healthy this last playoffs, he was sensational.
Okay.
Anthony Davis. Calvin. AD.
All-star.
Justin.
All-star.
Dame Lillard.
Star.
Justin.
No more. Wait.
Justin.
We seen the best of a man Dame. There is no more Dame time.
What you think he is?
He's right now. Right now, he's a role player.
Calvin.
That's it. Star.
He's still a star, man. Come on. Giannis, I think we can all agree there. Come on. Let's be smart here. I don't even want to hear the debate. So let's move on from that.
Nah, I don't think you can debate it. So.
Yoke.
Same thing.
Shooing. So these are the stars. All stars, I mean. Yeah,
I ain't even gonna make that argument, but
what's your argument?
I'm not. I have a theory about Jokic. Jamal Murray doesn't get his due. I've said that before. I look at the numbers with and without Jamal Murray. I see the usage rate. I see the empty numbers when you win an MVP. It's a whole nother argument. But he's a superstar, though. He's a superstar. But I don't get the
big bubble from your head and will just dot.
It had nothing to do with nothing.
I don't get
nothing to do with nothing.
I was about to go off on a rant.
No significant value whatsoever to
it was significant to me. It was significant to me.
Paulo.
Oh, wait. We saying LeBron a superstar?
He not?
I was going to say all-star. We talking right now. I'm not saying he was not a superstar. As I said,
What are you
right
talking
now?
about?
Okay.
Okay, you got him as an all-star. Okay, Justin, what you got him as?
LeBron James is an all-star.
Are y'all literally just gonna make me put LeBron James?
I'm about to take KD off this list too.
I'm about to say, if y'all gonna do that, KD got to go down
I
too.
didn't have
I'm not
KD as
voting.
superstar
KD is
though.
all-star.
I didn't have KD as superstar, so I'm keeping that same baseline.
That's pathetic.
I'm not saying they were never superstars. We had this conversation, but you said right now.
LeBron James moves the needle. That is part of being a superstar.
What percentage of that is superstar?
What do you mean? Like
you said he moves the needle. So what part of that moving the needle is does that fit superstar?
I think Magic Johnson
30%?
summed it up pretty well the other day. Your box office. You
Okay.
When you play, people tune in to watch. People buy a ticket. That is part of being a superstar.
They did that James Harden when he was in Houston.
Okay,
Same thing.
But was it consistent?
When he was in Houston, yes.
Has it did it travel to Philly? Did it travel to LA?
It traveled to Brooklyn.
LeBron was in Cleveland, Miami, LA, Cleveland again. I don't care
where
he is.
If we're talking about at one point they were a superstar, then LeBron, KD.
We're talking about what have you done for me lately.
But if you're talking about right now,
LeBron was 17 All NBA this just past year.
He was the only person on All NBA with a negative net rating. I'm a LeBron fan, I'm a Lakers fan, but he had a negative net rating and he was All NBA.
He's not a superstar.
They were better with him off the court than on the court, and he made All NBA.
Y'all smoking. What are you getting? Hey, say what your chest. That's fine.
I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a LeBron fan. I'm just telling the truth.
That's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But I let it be on the record. I'm not in agreement with either of these two selections. But if that's what you all want to go with, foolishly, I'll let you do it. That's pathetic. LeBron James is if LeBron ain't a superstar.
Hey,
Steph ain't no superstar.
I agree. Okay.
And Giannis ain't won either then. What has he done for me lately? Giannis ain't won a title in years.
And
it's flamed out in the playoffs the last 3 years.
I don't think we've ever said anything about winning the title, but Giannis is.
What has Giannis done in the playoffs the last 3 years? Couldn't even get out the first round this year. That's my guy.
Top 3 player in the league.
I'm just saying, what are we doing here? LeBron just won a title in 2020 at least. Within the 5 years, you can't tell me you lose your superstardom. You lose your superstardom. Like I don't.
In 5 years? Yeah, you can lose your superstardom in 5 years. Yes.
But he's still playing at a good level and a great level.
So all-star.
No. You did the Floridian slip. You said good level. That was subconscious. That's what you wanted to say. You said no. I don't
think you can just stop being a superstar in 1 or 2 years. I think a superstar slide is like. What do you mean? Like you're still a superstar just because he's defying the odds and playing deep into his. into his 40s.
So wait.
You're supposed to be able to defy everything and still maintain who you are.
So he still is LeBron James.
He's not the same LeBron James as he was 4 or 5 years ago.
Not 20 years ago.
So Michael Jordan was a superstar with the Wizards and didn't win nothing, but because he was box office, he was superstar.
He wasn't box office like that.
In Washington, they came to see him.
If you want to put it like that, yeah, he was still a superstar. He was Mike.
He never made the playoffs. I don't think he made All NBA. I don't think he made All NBA. But he was a superstar.
He was still Mike. Yes. If we're gonna put it like that,
would not have been who they are if it wasn't for the other person that we want to get to. He changed the whole thing. He rejuvenated LeBron James, if anything.
Thank you, Leah. I don't know.
Wait. We said that LeBron was a superstar at one point, but in 2025, he was not a superstar. They were 3 seeds because of Luka.
Isn't about just 2025. This list isn't just about 2025.
No. You said what have you done for me lately?
What do you
had to start having this conversation.
No, we're not talking. I'm taking majority out. We are not talking about the majority of your career.
So you're talking about this one? Whatever we just saw from the beginning of this season.
That's what you said. That's what we're basing.
I didn't say that. I never said that. I said I said, if you ever reach a certain height, can you lose being a superstar? That was what I asked y'all as a question. I didn't say anything as a this is how we establish it. I said I put KD as a superstar. So why would I argue to say something different? You said KD shouldn't be a superstar because they didn't play like it. I said, well, KD is KD. KD will move the needle right now. If the Knicks wanted, KD
that's why I asked you the question.
Y'all want to sign up for it?
I asked you the question. At what point of moving the needle equates to being a superstar? Is that half of what you? So if you moved it, is that half of your argument?
It plays a significant portion. For my definition of what a superstar is, you have to be a box office player who teams will move to go get him because you know what? He's going to bring.
Would teams will need to go get Anthony Edwards?
Of course they would.
So why is he not a superstar then?
Because he's not accomplished like you. It's a combination. He has not won a title. He's not won an MVP.
And you have teams that want you. So what
the
part
question
of
was
what part
about
of it is
certain
accomplishment?
players? Can you lose your superstar status? Anthony Edwards has never been a superstar. We all can agree LeBron has been a superstar since he came out of high school.
Would teams move heaven and earth to get Kawhi?
No.
I thought you said he was a superstar at one point.
But he's not now. He's definitively an all-star for the majority of his career.
Oh, he's not a superstar now, so you put him as an all-star.
Look, Kawhi and LeBron are two different categories. Kawhi never had the cachet of a LeBron James. So that's the point. LeBron supersedes any of these comparisons you're going to try to make. He's no Jokic. He's no none of that. Jokic is purely athletic.
Would teams move heaven and earth to get Wemby? Would teams move heaven and earth to get Wemby?
But he's never been a superstar. I think you're comparing things to something different.
It's a different. Let's go at a different angle. When I saw Steph play, I saw that defense clearly have the same defensive rotations that they had on Steph right now as they did 5 years ago, as they did 10 years ago. When I see LeBron James play, they do not fear LeBron James
every night
they did before and everything like that.
Every 5 games, maybe.
That does not make you not a superstar. He's 47 years old.
If I'm not even afraid of you playing basketball,
you don't think
teams?
You don't think when LeBron James is on the court, you had to account for him. I don't care what you try to say.
When LeBron James is on the court, I'm looking past him and seeing what that white boy doing.
LeBron James had that team positioned to be good before he even got there. Before Luka got there.
Wait. They were what, an 8-9 seed before Luka got there?
Okay, 8-9 is a shot in the dark. What they finish at? 4?
Third.
Okay. Early teams was jumbled up close together. What difference does that make?
I look at the standings. LeBron had a net negative rating. And that
LeBron James is still better than most of the players in the league right now.
That's perfectly fine.
And for him to have been the stature, we talk about debating as he's one of the greatest players of all time.
That's perfectly fine.
You don't take a guy who is number 1 or 2 all time, and then he's still second team All NBA at year 40-something, year 20, whatever this is, and say, oh, he lost his superstar status. When you can't just say it's just about on the court. LeBron James moves the needle. It's no other way to put it. And if you're trying to equate everything down, to what you do on the court, you're missing what a superstar is in totality. Jason Tatum is great on the court. He ain't no superstar. Like, you gotta have that extra oomph to you. It's a reason why some of these guys you got in the all-star category instead of them being superstars. And some of them got rings. Because they don't have that extra pizzazz. They don't have that extra over-the-topness that makes them what people pay to see. That's just the bottom line. This is a money business. And some guys got it and some guys don't. And you don't lose it just because your skills slip to some degree or you get a little older. You will argue that James Harden got lazy 6 years ago. He didn't just fall off the cliff. He fell off the cliff. Like, he didn't just.
So that's not even a comparison.
But I'm just saying, at one point he was an MVP. You just made that argument. You made that argument. He was an MVP. Could have had it 2 years in a row. In Houston, he was at the top of his game.
He's Shea, but Shea won a ring.
He wasn't on a superstar trajectory.
He was.
That's my point.
He was, but he
LeBron
never
only
reached
got
it,
there, he stayed there for a
LeBron, I
long
completely
time.
agree.
I don't think you
But when
lose
LeBron
it
got to the
because
top,
he's gotten
he
to
stayed
an
at
older.
the top for damn near 10
think
years.
that's a silly
But he's not
argument.
at the top anymore.
Yeah, I just think it's a silly argument. It's fine. We
Okay.
disagree. Moving on. Paulo.
All-star.
Justin.
Star.
I agree. I haven't seen anything all-star worthy. Got to stay healthy to do that. All right.
He'll be all-star next year.
Joel Embiid.
All-star.
All-star.
Mm-hmm. All right. Cade Cunningham. Justin.
Star.
Calvin.
Yeah, I agree.
Ja Morant. Calvin.
Star.
Justin.
All-star.
I go star. He has fallen off. Chris Paul. Calvin.
Role player?
Okay. Justin.
I said Dame was a role player. Dame was hurt. Dame's not going to be the same. Chris Paul's a star.
You got all-star, don't you? We're looking at it 3 different ways. You're looking at his career.
I think you had to take some of that into. Right now, he's a role player.
I thought you were going to say all-star.
But he's still a star. I don't care what nobody says. He's still a star.
So at his peak, what was he?
I think he was an all-star at his peak.
Okay.
All-star.
Don't you?
Yeah.
I don't think he's falling that far down. He was a leader of teams. They didn't accomplish much, but he at least got there. Devin Booker. Calvin.
All-star.
Justin. What you say? You say all-star?
Yes. No, star. All-star. Devin Booker, all-star.
All-star. I agree with that. He's consistent. He just don't win.
Wait. So Phoenix had a superstar in your opinion and an all-star and couldn't make the play-in?
This was y'all opinion. What you name him as?
No. You said Kevin Durant was a superstar.
I agree.
Okay, and my response was they had a superstar and an all-star and could not make the play-in.
Hey, I agree with that.
Okay.
They underachieved greatly. Doesn't mean Kevin Durant not a superstar, in my opinion. And your team would move heaven and earth to get him right now. Right now. I guarantee
they get Devin Booker?
No, they get KD.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
That's not even a question.
Of course.
All right. So
Not every team would do that now.
I said your team.
Not the Knicks.
Me?
Obviously.
No, I was talking to Calvin. But the Knicks would take KD too.
They've already said they're not. James Dolan petty. James Dolan just being petty. That's all it is.
No.
Luka Doncic.
Wait, James Dolan not being petty?
No, that was Leon.
No,
James Dolan really not doing nothing, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it's Leon. Luka Doncic.
Yep.
Superstar. I don't give a damn what y'all say.
Luka Doncic.
Oh,
that boy different. Dog.
Brink of superstardom, but not.
You put all-star?
Yeah.
He's the asterisk.
I go all-star. I think he got more work to do. He need to get himself in shape.
You gotta have a better start to a season. Like,
yes.
You make first team All NBA playing.
Oh, that hit for dunks.
Leandro Ball. No, what is it?
LaMelo
Ball. LaMelo.
Like, Leandro.
I'm about to call him Lonzo. I'm about to call him Lonzo. LaMelo.
Star.
Yeah.
I agree with that. He ain't there yet. Gotta show me something. You know?
Oh, that being in Charlotte. Need to get out of there.
Zion Williamson. Calvin.
Star.
We're gonna keep these. We're gonna archive this. Okay.
Wait, y'all so y'all agree?
No. I was giving Justin. Go ahead. He was taking his time.
He's a star. Yeah, he's a star. Should be.
I agree with that.
No, you saying it like it was a travesty or something. We're gonna keep this
because he should be damn near superstar.
What's his potential? That's what I'm about to say. Like,
completely agree.
Like, what will it take for him to move up? Like, just staying
getting out of New Orleans.
Like half of these stars are just waiting to be all-stars. They're waiting to get those back-to-back credentials of being all-stars, so on and so forth. Zion was not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get there. He's trying to be where they're at.
So you're saying he's the furthest away from all-star of the stars listed?
Not necessarily the furthest away, but Halliburton, right? If he start off the next season and finish like he ended the season, all-star. Kate Cunningham was already all-star. John Morant, if he stay healthy, all-star. Like, no questions. Zion has got to not only stay healthy, but be in shape.
I get it. All right, De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox. Calvin.
Calvin. Go ahead, Justin. Calvin was first. You said it.
Star.
What you think, Justin?
De'Aaron Fox is an all-star. He just doesn't get the nod.
Star. All right. Let's go with Kyrie Irving.
All-star.
Okay.
All-star.
Justin.
Kyrie's still an all-star.
I agree. He's an all-star for sure.
Player.
Russell Westbrook. Yeah. What you got, Calvin?
I agree.
Role player. Yeah. Okay.
Was Russ ever a superstar?
I think he was.
No, I don't think so.
I think at one point he was on the cusp of
I think he had a 5-year stretch.
Yeah, a perennial a superstar. But again, you can lose it. But he's been off that trajectory for a while, unlike LeBron. But Russ, he's been off of it for a while, and he legitimately coming off the bench and everything. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say he was a superstar at one point, in your opinion. Okay.
I think he was. I think he reached that peak. That's an example of someone, him and James Harden, are people who had superstar talent and trajectory and wasn't able to sustain it.
Whose career was better?
For me, Russ, but I'm different. What you think, Justin?
That's a tough one. If you're asking me, I'd rather be known. I'd rather be remembered as Harden stats versus the triple dub. I was at one point the baddest offensive player damn near ever.
Yeah.
But to me, that makes it worse. And you underachieved that greatly. You could never win nothing. And you flamed out in all your big games. You have historic flameouts.
Yeah.
Historic flameouts. And you forced your way out of Houston to go to Philly. And because Brooklyn. Your homeboy was Brooklyn. And then the Philly, because your GM was your boy and all that other stuff.
You know what's crazy? You're right. James Harden, shows up small in those moments, but he made those moments. Russ ain't do that by himself. So,
but again, you asked me who would I rather have the career. I'd rather be the guy remembered who play hard every night, who got that mentality of a basketball player like Russ than James Harden, who look like he don't even care. He just eat donuts and Twinkies. Huh?
I mean, Harden created a move.
What's it called?
That step back?
What's
The
it called?
tiptoe step back.
He
That's
created
what
that
they call
move.
it? A tiptoe step back? All right, good. Next up.
I think it's hard. I think it's hard.
Yeah, okay. Klay Thompson.
Role player?
Ooh. Justin. What's
Klay
that?
Thompson's a role
He a 4-time champion? One of the greatest duos of all time? Role player. All right.
And they got rid of him. No question.
Role player.
I was waiting for you to make that all-star argument.
Pascal Siakam.
All-star.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm stunned. I thought y'all was going to make him a star because he's an all-star to me. He was consistent in Toronto. He was the needle mover that got Indiana over the hump after that trade last year. They didn't start winning until he got there, if you recall. But give him credit. All right. Desmond Bane, which brings us to a topic we're going to talk in a minute. Desmond Bane, where would you put him, Calvin, after this big trade this week? Was he worthy of a trade of that stature? Is he some type of player that people should be worried about?
Star. I can't put him in the same.
They sure enough gave up a lot for that star. What you think?
I don't think so.
They gave up a lot for that role play.
You got him in the same pool as PG. I can't do that.
I agree.
That's disrespectful. That is disrespectful.
Ain't nobody paying to see you smoking. You ain't nobody. You ain't no star.
Ain't nobody paying to see nobody in Memphis. Ja can't stay healthy. Like what they
No,
they
Ja's
done
still a
the
name.
They wasn't going to see Desmond Bane.
They wasn't going to
Exactly.
see Ja in street clothes on the sidelines.
Hey, they know him more than they know Bane.
They're ready to
Bane
go see
ain't
Triple
nothing.
J than Desmond Bane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Ain't nobody
He ain't
know
gonna be
about
that
no
next
Desmond
year.
Bane. All he know, he ain't got no
I'd
neck.
rather see Zach Edey than Desmond Bane short on T-Rex himself.
All right, here's a good one coming off of this. This is a 1-year anniversary, and we had a huge debate about this 1 year ago, asking if this guy is a Hall of Famer. Al Horford. Where's he at?
Role player.
Oh, he a role player. Justin.
He's a very, very good role player.
But Calvin, you had him in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I think he's a Hall of Famer, yes. Now he's a role player now.
So anybody can get in the Hall of Fame.
T-Mac got in. At his peak, he was an all-star.
I knew you was gonna say that. You hate Tracy McGrady, yo.
At his
That's
peak,
your
he
problem,
was an all-star. But
That's
now,
at his
player.
peak, he was like a one-time all-star, bro.
Exactly. His career high is like a 30-point game or something.
That's like saying Cal Korver is a goddamn all-star, like Hall of Famer.
It's 41.
He had 41 one night. Who wasn't playing? Everybody?
He had 41 in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. He had to dig back in the archives. Get out of there. Guys. He's lucky on the bench. He's a good, hell of a role player.
It was a throwback.
Coming out the bench.
Actually, the whole New York get him.
That was a hell of an argument we had a year ago. Sabonis.
We all trade Cat.
Justin, Sabonis, what you got?
All-star.
Calvin.
Put some respect on his name.
I got respect for him. Our best center in the league.
Star. Moving on. Jamal Murray. Justin.
Star.
Calvin.
All-star.
Never made it to the All-Star game, but he's an All-Star.
Star at best.
Playoff time, he clutch.
Star at best. Tyrese Halliburton, same thing. That's why he in the same category as him. Star at best.
All-Star.
Next up.
He can't be the only person in there with a ring.
Trae Young. And so is the greatness of Jokic. Trae Young.
Trae Young is, I think he's an all-star.
What you think, Calvin?
He's a star.
They hate on him.
I think he's an all-star.
He is a
plays in
role
Atlanta.
player. Hall of
It's
Fame
tough,
role player.
It's tough. Jimmy Butler, last one.
All-star.
Calvin, all-star. Justin.
Jimmy Butler's an all-star.
All right.
This might be the last of it, though.
Yeah. So this is our official list.
He got rejuvenated.
Our only superstars in the league right now are Shea, Steph Curry, Giannis, and Jokic. we got a bunch of all-stars. We got some stars, and then some role players. And we're going to keep this for the archives, and we'll go over this and refer to this in the future. Great exercise, 1 year, and we will put this together and coming back to this throughout the next year when I hear different arguments. Well, you didn't say that last year. But again, folks, I just want to reiterate, if you came in later and you see LeBron James as an all-star, I did not vote for that. I just want that on the record. That was these two guys, you know what I mean? But if you watch our show, they typically are wrong. So, it's not a surprise. But let's move on. That was fun. All right. We did touch on this briefly. What did y'all think about that trade? The Magic trade received Desmond Bane. They gave up KCP. The Grizzlies get KCP, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first-round picks, 1 first-round pick swap. Justin, do you think that this was a fair trade and this was good value on the Magic's part?
I don't know what Magic was thinking. I'm not mad at the trade itself. I'm not mad that you was trying to get a high quality role player to be amongst the Wagner brothers and Pablo. So
Pablo.
That's what I said.
Pablo.
Pablo Torre.
That's a great trade, but I swear you could have got it done with half of this. You could have got it done with half of it. You could have maybe kept Cole Anthony and still did the trade. You could have maybe had both of them and one maybe two, to give them all that for and nothing else. That's crazy to me. I don't think he's worth it. Is he a good player? He's a good, solid player. Well needed for Orlando, to the point where Orlando should fight for the top 4 spot, if not higher than that next year. Like they are solidifying themselves in the Eastern Conference. However, that is a lot. And Grizzlies like, sure, no problem. I'll take it. Y'all can get rid of him. Jaren Jackson Jr., you can go too. John Morant, keep effing around. You can get up out of here too. Let's restart. I ain't mad at him at all.
Calvin, you like the trade. Go.
So originally I thought Orlando gave up way too much. And I thought about it. I'm like, okay, so y'all give up some picks that you expect to be in the late teens and 20s. You had Paolo and Wagner, the better Wagner, I forgot which one it is, missed 30 games this year, and they were the 7th seed, and their pick is like 18. So if they're going to miss 30 games, and you're going to pick in the 18th and pick around 18th, then what's going to happen if they only miss 10 games each? You're expecting to pick in the 20s, maybe in the late 20s. So you're giving up late 20s picks potentially because you have Paolo and Wagner. And the only pick that's really good in there is one of the picks is either a Phoenix or Washington swap. If Phoenix trades Kevin Durant and then they start to look bad, then maybe that Phoenix pick is top 10. So that's your only top 10 pick that you're going to get, even if Wagner played, and Paolo missed 30 games. So did they give up they gave up a lot of picks, but were they value? Not really. And then even though we've talked about next year, there's no Tatum. Who's going to win the East? I'm adding, he's probably the second best shooting guard in the East right now. And you just add him to your team for some picks.
Robert, can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
it's okay if you don't know the answer. You were saying that the 18th pick and 10th, and those are overlooked.
They're valuable. There are all stars that come from those picks, yes. But
can you tell me what pick Desmond Bane was?
He was the second round.
He was the 30th pick.
Oh,
so you could have landed. You could have got maybe 2 to 3 Desmond Banes if you draft correctly. Instead, you give up all those for a 30th round.
Even better point. You're giving up capital. You're giving up capital. You could have used these picks to get somebody better. That's the point. You make a different move for a better guy. Huh?
Who you gotten?
I mean, take the pick. I don't know. I'm not taking no Desmond Bane.
Who could you have gotten? Name somebody you could have gotten for the same package.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It's not this
it does matter.
Are you in a win now position where you got? If we don't make this trade, if we make this trade, we win an NBA title next year.
Who's the favorite in the East next year?
the team that's in the finals probably right now, or Cleveland.
Is Orlando close to them with Desmond Bain?
What do you mean? No.
Okay, I think Orlando's closer than with Desmond Bain.
That's a
I
stretch.
think wait in an Orlando Indiana series, I think Paolo can be the best player in that series.
Doesn't matter always who the best player is. The best team.
You're right. I think Paolo could be the best player. I think Desmond Bain could be the second best player. So if you're Orlando, you make this move, you make a run next year. If you make a conference finals, maybe you attract more free agents, but you're making a run at it. And I think you like to see you make a run at it. You were not going to get. I don't think you were going to get anything else with this trade package because you have to still match salaries, which I think is key. You can't go trade Kevin Durant for this trade package because Kevin
Nobody's saying Kevin Durant, but if you're
okay,
going to make a trade, why is it you go give all this up for Desmond Bain?
What did they gave up 3 of their picks.
They gave up 4 unprotected first-round picks.
One of the unprotected pick is a Phoenix pick. And they gave 3 of their
picks that you had collateral.
And they gave up 3 of their picks. They gave 3 of their picks and a pick swap. So they gave up 3 of their picks and a Phoenix pick.
Nothing was forcing you to make this trade. That's my point.
You're right. Nothing was
you proactively went out.
They got better.
This is stupid.
But they got better. So Desmond better Bain the second best shooting guard? He's the second best shooting guard in the East right now.
In your opinion, who the first best?
Donovan Mitchell.
So he's better right now than Jaylen Brown.
I think Jaylen Brown plays a 3, but no, he's not better than Jaylen Brown.
He's better than Tatum.
Taylor's not playing next year.
Okay, on the surface, you went out and made this trade for 1 year. So you're saying next year is their only window.
I'm saying trade for next year. They have a great chance to get further than they would have.
He's better than Brunson.
Brunson plays the 1. I'm sorry. Is he the point guard?
But this is what I'm trying to say. All right, Cleveland, Milwaukee, whoever Giannis goes to in the East, I don't think he's better than.
Okay, if you're talking about overall,
I don't think I'm talking about Orlando. Why make this trade now when you can hold on to that capital?
Because I have faith in Paolo.
They are trying to go all in.
Take the next step.
They're going all in. This is their all in.
He can be up
for them.
They don't have another move. They don't never move. This is it.
You're right. You went all in for Desmond Bain. That's the point. You're like, he's not no game changer. Go ahead. Anyway, that's your opinion. It's your opinion. You're not on the fence. I'll give you that.
Orlando has potential. Yeah, okay. Better offensively.
Then who?
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, they about the same.
We'll see. The proof will be in the
better
pudding.
Offensively.
I'll
say defensively is offensively. I'll take Desmond Bain. I've seen Desmond Bain score 40 on playoff teams. I haven't seen Mikal Bridges do that.
And calling him the second best shooting guard in the East, that just tells you there ain't that many good shooting guards, period. Okay. Because most people are small forwards these days. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
okay, so I'm saying you have the second best shooting guard on your team in your conference. So you're
is he a sharpshooter from 3 that's going to kill you every night?
So your starting 5 is better than next year. Is probably better than all but 2 or 3 teams. So I'm giving you a shot to get to the playoffs, make a deep run. That's all I'm saying. They have a shot. They have a better shot with them without them. They didn't really give up a lot in assets when you look at it. They gave up 1 Phoenix pick that could be top 10 next year. That's really all they gave up. The rest of their picks are going to be in the 20s. I'm not saying you can't draft an all-star, a superstar in the 20s, but what I'm saying is, can you draft one that's ready to win when Paolo is ready to win in 2 years, or is it better to have a Desmond Bain who's ready to win as well with them? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's wrong. But anyway, Knicks are still on the search. Justin, give us our weekly update.
News.
Mike Brown is up there. Memphis coach is I forget his name.
Taylor Jenkins.
They fired is a possibility. Look, we all we doing. I hate when people say that we fired Tiz without a plan.
Y'all said you said y'all gonna promote that.
No, y'all had a plan. The plan was to get somebody else coaching. Everybody said no.
True. Yeah,
that was the plan.
You have to do your due diligence to see who wants who
kick the tires. You already got your coaching house, is what you saying.
Had this been any other team besides New York, we wouldn't even hear about all this. We're just interviewing people saying
Wait,
they
wait,
want
The
to come
gift
out.
and the curse,
If-
though.
if
It's
a-
the
if
gift
a-
and the curse.
If a team made the conference finals for the first time in 30 years and then fired their coach, you don't think this would be news regardless
After
of the
He
team?
made the
back-to-back
conference
winning
finals
season.
by playing the same exact way as he's been doing, and we were going to break. So when do you pull that? When do you do it? Other teams did
But
it
y'all
right
had
before
no
the playoffs.
y'all had no plan. That was the
The
best part.
plan was that they have people that they have certain individuals in mind. I said Johnny Bryant
that?
is one of them. They have
Who?
certain individuals
Okay.
in mind, and you just interview people to see what's going on. You kick like Larry said. I hate the example, but yeah.
But if that's
kick
the
the
case, then
tires
why
around.
didn't you hire him a week ago? If that was the case, if that
The
was your plan,
season
No
is
rush.
still going on.
okay.
Last time to hire Tibbs, it took weeks to hire Tibbs.
So isn't that so? Why don't y'all have a coach and then have that coach go talk some sense into Dolan on your opinion of who's the president? I forgot. I was going to say Worldwide West.
Leon
Way
Rose.
West. Leon Rose. So y'all can go get KD.
Look, they're doing their due diligence to see what's going on, see if they can get one of the better overall coaches, but all the best coaches are on other teams. You know, there's no great coach that's not on a team right now. So you see if you can get a kid, you see if you can get a Ime, and then you see what's going on after that. So if then you get no's from them, then you keep going. It's just like I said, it's the Knicks, so it gets blown up the fact that they don't even know. They just going through and see who wanted to see who wants the opportunity or not. That's it.
I'm with you 100%. And in honor of our 1-year anniversary.
Well, I'll say this for New York: everything is leading to this moment. So, with that being said, Knicks in 5. Why am I so confident? I want to say it's sweet, to be honest with you, but I get Indiana 1 game. I'm sorry, but I'm confident. It's just a spray of confidence, and I'm just confident that we're gonna win in 5. I should say sweet. I really should say sweet.
Say it with your chest. Come on.
5.
Hey. Happy
For us to
anniversary.
get a coach. So that's what's happening.
You're right. Y'all need a new coach. New voice, baby. New voice. Next up, the Lakers seem to be on the verge of being sold. The Buss family's set to sell the Lakers for $10 billion valuation. The last time an NBA franchise was sold, I'm trying to think, was it the Clippers?
It was Boston.
Was it Boston? Okay, what did it go for?
6.1, something like that.
I think the Clippers went for 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Boston
then
6.
Phoenix went for 5, I believe.
Okay. So the Lakers going for $10 billion. That's a hell of a valuation.
I think but I think the Buss family's only getting 6, I believe. They evaluated the team at 10, and then he's buying the majority of the shares. So whatever he's buying is worth $6 billion.
Are they keeping 4?
No. So the team is worth, they're evaluating the team at $10 billion. He's buying like 60%, so he's buying $6 billion worth. Yeah.
So the remaining $4 billion is another conglomerate going to pick them up. Okay,
there's no remaining.
That's the sale.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
He's
How do you feel about this? Will that change anything for the team?
Yeah, I don't think so. He was already a partial owner. He bought AEG's portion, I think like 2020, 2021. So he was already like 25% shareholder. So he's buying, I think he's now a 66, 67% shareholder. And the Buss family and minority owners, Magic, all those guys own the remaining 20% or so on. Magic spoke highly of him. The only thing I'm worried about is, you have these guys that come in and buy teams and make moves, and they not necessarily for the better of the team. We saw what happened with Ballmer and the Clippers. We saw what happened with Ishbia and the Suns. And on the other hand, you have the people that bought Dallas, and you have the new owners in Boston who are basically having fire sales right now. So you just hope that the status quo remains, that they're competitive. I'm happy to see the Buss family, or at least Jeannie, still on the day-to-day, still being recognized as the governor. But I was going back and forth with a guy on Facebook who said he didn't like it. I'm like, yo, Jeannie and Jim don't have any kids. So what is going to be the next step for them as they're getting older? Who's going to take over the team? So if you have a guy that's been familiar with the franchise, even though it's only been for 5 years, you have Magic who speaks highly of him, and Magic's been a Laker for the last 45 years. This is the right move. This is the right time, and you're still involved. Now, we saw what happened with Mark Cuban when he was still involved. They ended up kicking him out. So we don't know if that's going to happen, but you just want a guy to come in and help you be competitive. Ishbia was competitive in Phoenix. Did it work out? No. But was he throwing money around to get those players? Yes. Can you be mad at the effort that he made? No. So you just want to be competitive. And we've all known for the last 5 or 10 years, probably longer than that the Lakers have been cash poor. They make their money from the Lakers. They're not the Waltons with Walmart and they get their money from there and put them in the Denver Broncos. They're not Ballmer who got his money from, I believe, Microsoft and then put it in the Clippers. They were just generating money from within the NBA. So it's hard to keep up with a Ballmer who has $3 billion or Ishbia that has $5 billion or one of those new owners. So it helps put some new funds into LA as well. You just hope that they spend them right.
Justin, you got any thoughts on this move?
So it's about money at the end of the day, and the fact that their father brought it for $67 million or something like that.
Yeah.
The fact that they flipped it to $10 billion. Yo, what we talking about here? Like they cashed in. And to Calvin's point, in which I didn't necessarily fully realize, they ain't got no kids. Don't you want? You ain't got nobody to give it to. So take the money, do other things with it. Be a billionaire, and she's still a part of the franchise. She's still a part of the family. It's just she might got to answer to somebody else. She probably wouldn't get it the whole time. Sometimes you get tired of asking questions.
To me, it's kind of a non-story to the public. I mean, it is what it is, unless the new owner starts doing something crazy. But like you say, he's been involved with the team for a while, so he know how things run. We'll see if anything drastic changes will determine if this is a good move down the line. So let's move on. Let's move on to the WNBA. Over our first year, we've had some pretty spirited discussions about the WNBA, especially last summer on a lot of the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese discussions were happening, and whether Caitlin Clark was good for the game and was she a distraction, and people saying that she was getting too much attention. Well, if you've been paying attention, Caitlin went down with an injury a few weeks ago, and this is nothing I'm highlighting because I still enjoy the other teams. I enjoy the other players, but the facts are when Caitlin Clark is not playing, people don't watch at the rate that they were watching before. Ratings were down significantly while she was out, but since she's been back, the ratings have risen to the top again. I know they play every Friday night on Ion. Those are kind of like the featured games every week because they have that deal. Then they play on the weekends, and those games have been highly rated ever since Caitlin's been back. I know she dropped like 32 in one game, and she was out there. I think she had 20-something the other night. Some great performances on the big stage. Again, I'm not going to say that she's the sole reason why this league has seen a resurgence, because we know there are litany of players who have been playing sensational. But when it comes to being box office, as we were talking about earlier with this whole superstar discussion, you cannot deny the power that Caitlin Clark's star power brings in the battery and the energy it adds to the WNBA. Is she problematic? I don't think so. There are some of the people who support her problematic 1,000%, because as we talked about when we had this discussion before, this thing has kind of been boiled down to a race thing, black and white. So a lot of white people who've just been waiting for a great white hope for a star to represent them get behind Caitlin Clark in such a way, and it turns it and touches such a vitriol discussion where you feel like if you supporting Caitlin Clark, you're somehow not supporting black athletes. And I think that's where the discussion kind of gets muddy. Calvin, what's your thoughts on all of this, Caitlin Clark's impact, things that have happened around the WNBA, the rating dip, all kind of stuff? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I do think she brings notoriety. She's brought eyes to the league more so. But those eyes aren't basketball fans. They are casual fans. They think they're basketball fans. they're Iowa fans, they're they're not basketball fans, but I think it's the key. But she is good for the league ratings wise, money wise, and so they're supposed to clear what $100 million. Was that the article that was posted early this week? They're supposed to clear $100 million this year. And I don't know if what she's gone through in the league, be it right or wrong, is starting to rub off, and she's just started kind of fighting back because she's getting into more scuffles. Even the one she got into, was that last night or the night before last?
Yeah,
in which you had her teammates kind of backing her up, and then that kind of spurred off into different altercations as well. Or if this is just really how she is when she's playing. And sometimes you gotta be a different person when you're in a competitive sport. And you want to just show that you are that person. So not really sure what that is, but it's regularly an altercation with her involved, and with her starting to speak up more, fight back more, so on and so forth. It brings notoriety, but I don't know if it brings the correct attention, because it always becomes Caitlin Clark's fans versus whatever. And somehow Angel Reese gets brought into it. There was a headline earlier today in which the headline was Angel Reese's former teammate gets involved in a scuffle with Caitlin Clark. It had nothing to do with Angel Reese, but she gets dragged into it because it's Caitlin Clark, and we're always trying to tie the two of them together based off one, you can't see me 3 years ago. So she's good for the league. I'm just not sure if she's getting tired of the attention she's getting from her peers on the court that seem to be directed specifically at her. But she's good for the league, and it's good for the ratings that we're talking about it. It just needs to be more of a focus on the game and not just what happened to Caitlin Clark last night and how that's affecting Caitlin Clark, and somehow span this into Angel Reese is involved as well.
Justin, your thoughts?
It's definitely a Caitlin Clark effect. She's a gravitational pull wherever she goes. And to me, like, it wasn't as clear as it was this year. Like, if you go back and if you look at, let's say, Paige Beckers, she won the national title. She won that. She came into the season. She's having a very, very similar, not the whole year, but so far, statistical season as a Caitlin Clark. Their numbers are damn near identical. And you could care, the media as a whole could care less about Paige Beckers.
No attention.
Playing for Dallas, which is a bigger market than Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And we can pretty much care less about Paige. That's why it's so impactful, because it's her. She's the needle pusher. She's the one that makes everything go. She's the engine to this train. And it feels as if it's a lot of hate for some reason. And we need a woman on, because I can't think of a logical reason why. Like, maybe it's something that us males aren't seeing, and maybe a woman can be able to, well, it's fair for this, and it's just basketball. Damn, I ain't seeing the men's basketball like this. I ain't never seen it like this.
I think bringing up Paige is good because she's a white woman, so it's not just about her being white. She's not getting the notoriety and the shine and the following. I think it goes back to in college. Remember this when she used to do the mock and pose, and she did it, and they did it back to her, and it was like, it caused a rivalry, and those college rivalries carried over. The LSU thing, like, it was the black team versus the white team, like that. I think that is still what gave her. And she was cocky with it. You know what I mean? She had a little swag to it. And I don't think she plays like that all the time. She's more of a like quiet, calm, very underspoken type of young lady. But she gets fiery. And I think people like that. It's like a Larry Bird almost. Like, Larry Bird wasn't a big talker until it was time to play. You know what I mean? Like,
I tell you what. She need to stop turning her back to people. That's what she need to do. She'll do something real quick. Mm-hmm. And when this last scuffle, she turned her back real quick, and then homegirl pretty much gave her a body shove, and then she fell down, or whatever the case may be. But they need to find some goons in the WNBA. WNBA is real old school basketball. It's not new school basketball, right? So when it comes to how they play, for the majority, right? They still have post games and things like that. So they still have classic defined roles. Well, it used to be an enforcer in the NBA in the 90s. You used to have enforcers up until the 90s, right? Like there were some people on certain teams where as though your job is to protect your superstar. Aaliyah Boston is not that person. She's a scorer herself. She gets it the hard way, but she's in there. You need another person that you sign them saying, look, your job is to protect Caitlin. Charles Oakley, your job is to protect Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That's it. You can shoot it from time to time, but you check anybody that try to check him in a sense. So that's what they need, and I hope they find it because she's not going to make it out the season if this type of scuffle continues. She's not going to make it out.
I mean, I'm not saying I think the players should go just as hard as they've been going, and they should keep going hard. So I don't want them to ease up, but I do think they need to think just a second more. I want her roughed up. I want her healthy enough to play tomorrow because when she's there, they sell tickets. Look what they had. They came to Baltimore a couple weeks ago. They came to Baltimore. Sold a whole lot of tickets off the name of Caitlin Clark.
Nah, them tickets started dropping when they realized she wasn't playing.
Found out, that's what I'm saying. And when they found out she wasn't there, think about that.
That's why I ain't go.
That's the effect, man. Mm-hmm. That's the effect. You would think people who are WNBA fans would just go, I just want to see a game. Nah, they was going to see the star power. And that's what a superstar will do. Is she a superstar? Can we call her a superstar? She hasn't won a title yet. She hasn't won deep into the playoffs. Calvin, your thoughts?
I'd say yes.
Oh, okay.
I'd say yes.
What you think, Justin?
I'm gonna include some of the college as well. So yeah.
So some things just leap the barriers.
As I made a case for Luka Doncic, sometimes
there are exceptions to rules.
There are exceptions to the rule. Not because they're white, though. I know that was a commonality between the two people.
All right, let's get into some Orioles talk.
Again,
I'm wearing my Oriole garb tonight to pay homage to 1 year ago. I said I was coming back. Now, did I come back right away? No. But I'm back now, and Orioles been 6. Did they win tonight? Did Orioles play tonight?
Hell no. They was up 8-0 when we started the podcast. They lost 12-8.
So the Orioles are 5-5 in their last 10 games. I was ready to say 6-4.
I thought it was 6.
That was yesterday. Now they lost.
Oh, okay.
5-5.
Okay.
5-5, 500 in their last 10 games. Ups and downs. I don't know. I have, they still a long way back. I was like, the Yankees been sliding. There's still hope. The Yankees lost like 4 or 5 in a row.
They got shut out like 2 in a row or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, O's going a little run here. They can close the gap. Boston's within reach as well, but you can't lose games like you lost today. So there you go. Give us an update. What you think about the Orioles here lately, Calvin?
The offense. I mean, look, it's been up and down, but the offense came to play tonight. The pitching just gave up a ton of runs. I mean, I gotta make my way down the yard to see it in person, but I fully expect them to win this ball game tonight, especially when we walked in here. It was 8-0, and then I look up and it's 12-8. I have no idea what the hell happened. I got to go back and watch this now. This is ridiculous at this point. When is football season starting?
Well, hold on now, because look, we're gonna be in for a long summer, man. We're gonna be in for a long summer. Until tonight, the pitch has been pretty good. The bullpen probably lost that. That's not normal for us to lose it in the bullpen.
I gotta go look. I gotta look. I have no idea when he scored 12.
I'm about to say, what inning did you check out on when it was 8-0?
When we came in here, it was like the third. It was like the third inning.
All right, so he had to.
It had to be like 4th. It was later than that.
Right, so that's getting close to the bullpen, middle reliever and things like that. So that's tough. That's tough that we lost. We should not have lost that. But if you're telling me that if they win the next game and we got a 2-2 split from the Rays, I'm happy. I'm okay with that.
It is a 4-game series. Yeah,
it's a 4-game series, so we still got one more, and we're until this onslaught that just happened, we've pretty much been okay. They beat us 7-1. We beat them 5-1. I was like, okay, now let's see what's going on in game 3. And, we clearly did a collapse. But at the end of the day, our players are getting healthy. I think almost everybody is finally like just legitly healthy.
Yeah.
Westbrook, Cowser, Mullins, Gunner, Adley, everybody's here. Yeah. Sanchez, everybody, even when we picked up, we're good. If Grayson can be any part of himself,
you gotta come back.
Hopefully he comes back early July. We got a shot. Like I said, it's gonna be we in for a long summer. We get every series counts, every series matters. I think we got the Yankees after this, if I'm not mistaken. We gotta win that series. We gotta win that series. And like I said, if we go 20, whatever the games remaining, we just gotta be plus 20. I know it sounds like a lot, but that's not that much. It's not. We only 6 games out of wild card. It's not crazy.
Look,
that's why we're gonna be in for a long summer. We only 6 games out of wild card.
How many games do they go 500? Does anyone know that record off the top of their head? They're 9 games on the 500. If they are 5 games on the 500 at the trade deadline, are you selling?
I am going to give it a shot.
By selling, I mean, are you trading Mullins? Because I don't think he's back next year. So
well, you getting back?
I'll trade Mullins.
I don't think that matters. Okay.
Regardless, buying, selling, I'm getting rid of Mullins, but because he's worth a lot. I can't on something. I will really strongly consider Adley too. I know that sounds crazy.
I've heard that. But I don't agree with that theory because you want to see Basayo.
If I can get a pitcher in return, goddamn, we just got shut up by goddamn Scooby the other that goddamn in the Detroit series. Shut out.
I don't like that example because you don't know what they wanted though. I'm not giving up Jackson and Kobe Mayo for Scooby, even though he's left-handed. He had two Tommy John surgeries already. I ain't doing that. You see,
where's Kobe at now? Kobe play?
Yeah.
Kobe played tonight?
First base. He playing first base, yeah.
He ain't played last night. He ain't played the night before.
He played 2 nights before because he's been playing regularly since Mountcastle been out.
Yeah. You need to check that. He's not playing that.
He played.
He is first base. He is first base right now since Mountcastle is out. But
O'Hearn was DHing tonight, so I'm assuming Mayo. Who else is playing first base?
Okay,
so
that's fine. But either way, you got to let people go. Let's go for it, man. We can get hot. All we got to do is win a wild card. It's like old school watching a baseball movie. You got to try to get the pennant. We can get the wild card. We're doing very well in the last 20 games. Let's keep it moving. Let's get another good 20 games in.
Yeah, you can't drop these games like this though. That was a big one tonight. That would have been good. All right, let's move on. Let's get into some WWE. Hey, baby girl, what's happening? She can't hear me. You got no headphones on. You got headphones on? No, you don't. What's going on?
Okay.
Say happy anniversary. All right.
Clap. Let's do something. There we go.
Yeah. Let's get into the worldwide world of wrestling. So this past Monday night they set it up, which we discussed last week. Goldberg and Gunther. They have it's the match. You know what I mean? They teased. Now they haven't said this is his retirement match. That has not been stated yet.
Did you see him walking?
Yeah, he looked like he retired already. He just out there going to go out there and wave his arm or something. My man Gunther tweeted, "Yeah, I'll give you 3 minutes. You know what I mean? I can take 3 minutes of my day out, to go out there and destroy you. No problem." Yeah, he looks bad. But again, it's in Atlanta. That's where he played football. That's where he was known for. That's where he won the world title in WCW. It's going to be a crowd that's ready to see him. Maybe a swan song. I would assume it is, but I think he should lose. and Gunther will walk out of there the champion, but make it fun, and then Goldberg can wave to the crowd and move on. But if they have Goldberg beat Gunther for this title, I just don't think Triple H would do it. I don't think he would do it. He don't even like Goldberg.
So you don't think this is how Rollins cashes in?
Like I say, that's an option. That's an option. You think Goldberg beats Gunther, then Gunther gets then Rollins cashes in on. See, I think it would be Gunther beats Goldberg, and then Gunther antagonizes them after the match, talking trash or whatever, and then Goldberg does something to him, maybe gets a spear or something, and maybe tries a jackhammer. Maybe no, he ain't gonna try a jackhammer, but gets a spear, lays Gunther out. Gunther's hurt a little bit, and Rollins comes out there and cashes in, and then Goldberg kind of gets the last laugh in a way. That could happen, but I don't know. What's your thoughts, Justin?
I definitely got Gunther should wash Goldberg. That's just you disagree? I agree. I think he should wash him. It shouldn't even be a problem, and I'm gonna leave it short for obvious reasons.
What you think, Calvin?
Look, to me, it's a reason why they waited to do this instead of doing it post Pat McAfee, the feud with Gunther and Pat McAfee. Was it to get the belt back on Gunther? If that was the case, then why? I don't think Jay should have lost the belt last week, but it's a reason why Gunther has the belt again, in my opinion. That's why I'm like, is it a Seth Rollins cash in? Like you said, they haven't said this was Goldberg's final match, but he can't be coming back out a week or so later. He can't be making an appearance at SummerSlam. He can't be. Mm-hmm. So what's the point? Unless the Rollins cash in.
I don't know. I was thinking they got 2 nights for SummerSlam. Maybe you stretch another Goldberg appearance out to that, and that's his final match at SummerSlam.
So does he have so it's a rematch?
I don't know. That's what I'm just thinking of.
And also, where does Reigns fit in this? Because we know Roman's going to be at SummerSlam. You don't think he's going to be at SummerSlam? I'm talking in the grand scheme of things. That's what
I don't think you see Reigns till later. I don't think he's coming back till maybe Survivor Series around Royal Rumble time.
You don't see he made his appearance last year at SummerSlam after 4 months.
It's very much possible, but I just don't see the need to rush him back until Rollins is champion. You know what I mean? Again, he wasn't in King of the Ring. He wasn't in none of these things, Money in the Bank.
So he's champion next month in main event, and then you see him at SummerSlam. I'm just trying to figure what was the point of putting the belt back on Gunther? That's my question.
I think to get to Sammy, but that's just my theory. I can't prove
Sammy could possibly
Sammy and Daniel Bryan.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That whole theory turned Sammy and Daniel Bryan.
I think that's what I've been sticking with that, and that was my theory that he's going to be the one who beat Gunther, and then they cash in on Sammy. I think Rollins will somehow get the one up on Sami Zayn, and you can feel like, oh, poor Sammy. You know what I mean? That will get Rollins extra heat for doing that. But this whole Goldberg thing, I just think it's just a good match for Saturday Night Main Event. Did they just in Atlanta? He wanted to go out in his hometown. I just think that's what it is. I don't think you need to do too much more with it than that. Gunther gets a win. Keep it simple.
So his retirement match is a loss.
I don't know if this is a quote unquote. I think the whole thing about it being his retirement match was always something people said, but was never ever said officially. You know what I mean? So
he's 58, bro.
So another question: why did they make this a heavyweight title match?
They haven't. I think this graphic did, but even the other night, they never said this was for the title. I think it will be.
You said it is?
Yeah. The graphic said, but I think the other night,
if it isn't, it's why would you make Goldberg a champion if you're trying to do somewhat of a youthful movement of some kind? It makes zero sense making him have it.
I remember this match was planned for earlier, but Goldberg got hurt.
Yeah.
So they were always going to face each other. I think now is just the point they're trying to, because they got so many other things lined up for the rest of the year. They don't want to interrupt the rest of their calendar. Get this over with. Give Goldberg's little swan song. Remember, this is John Cena's retirement year. I don't think you want to do too many this is a retirement match. You know what I mean? Overlapping like that takes away John Cena's specialness. I think for his retirement year. I think it might be his retirement match without them ever saying it. He could take his shoes off and sit him in the middle of the ring, or take his gloves off, and that could be officially. But they don't need to coin it Goldberg's retirement match, especially if you're trying to win. You know what I mean? Like unless you put the stipulation.
He's going to win.
It's going to sell out regardless because it's in Atlanta. It's going to sell out.
I mean, they've been selling out
because they're going to want to see Goldberg, which is speculated his last match. So that's all they really need.
Yeah. Next up, R-Truth and John Cena have gotten into a little scuffle here. Truth challenged Cena to a match for this week on SmackDown, and that's what's going to happen. So this Friday night, John Cena, R-Truth. Now this hasn't been declared a title match either. So again, they might be on this non-title kick, just giving guys matches here. What's your thoughts on this one, Calvin?
I'm more interested in this one because it has actual regularly appearing superstars and not Goldberg, who came off his couch, got hurt, went back to his couch, and then decided I want a title shot on WWE main event. I'm happy they're building upon this feud that seems to have started and gained steam. They won't do right by putting the belt on Killings, which I would like to see, but I don't think that happens, at least not during Cena's retirement tour. I think that plan is already written to have him lose to Cody at some point. But I'm also wondering, at what point does he go back to being the face? He's not going to go out being a heel, and I think we expect
we got some time for that. That's like the last 10 days. The last 10 days.
The last 3 months. Okay.
It don't take much.
I thought it was gonna be a SummerSlam. That's what I was thinking it was gonna happen.
It don't take much. If he drops the title to R, that'd be great. I would thoroughly appreciate it. It'd be great. It'll be a nice gesture from Cena. But this is not for the title. I believe it gets some type of interference, some kind of way. Yeah, but maybe R-Truth gets the dub on this one. Ron Killings gets a W. That if you beat the champion, you get it. You deserve a championship shot. That's what they say. So,
will it kill the credibility of Ron Killings if he doesn't win this match?
It'd be a great thing if he wins or he loses. It's just how he loses. Mm-hmm. If it's legit and they don't do him dirty, it's all good. Like he's going. Look, this guy Killings is going to get a championship belt. Mm-hmm. You disagree? I agree.
I think
he's going to get the championship belt some kind of way.
Yeah, I think they should set something else up for him. I think somebody else should come out and get into a fight with Ron Killings, and then they can start a feud off of that and take him away from Cena. Clearly, they don't want Cena to lose. So, but at least set him up in a feud.
They could have built off this by putting him in the Royal Rumble. The King of the Ring. Had he been in the King of the Ring and then have like a weekly show of the momentum building, it would have been crazy. But they chose Jay.
Is he still going to be in it though? I thought they pivoted away from that.
Nah, he in it. We're going to talk about that in a second. So Night of Champions is John Cena and CM Punk, so we know that will be involved. Will Punk come out and cause Cena to lose the truth? That's also an option. He can lose, and then in your back of your mind, you can say, well, if it wasn't for Punk, and then Cena could use that as his little anger towards Punk, but Killings could get the win for his credibility. So that's also a possibility since it's non-title. But I thought they had a hell of a promo segment on SmackDown until.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Yeah. I thought they hit on some things from the past that were good. I thought Punk was way better than he was last week. He lost his train of thought. Kind of said, you did one of my promos. Remember I said I was taking the title and I was leaving, You just trying to be me. I thought it was good. And it was good setup for that match. I'm kind of into it, but Cena just not that good in the ring no more. So I can't say I'm excited to see the match at all, but
he's old. He's lost a step. It's fair.
Yeah. two-step. He was
Okay,
never
well,
great, but at least he could get Big Match John out of it. You know what I mean?
you can get Super Saiyan out of them every
Yeah.
now and then.
Here and there.
Wait, so
Anyway.
I asked this question to Justin. I want you to answer. When does Cena turn face?
I say if his last match is in December, he'll turn at War Games.
You think a month with a month left?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. He might not even turn until his last like little run. You know what I mean? The crowd gonna cheer for him either way. So why not? Just lean into it. They cheering for him every week.
Yeah, I think we get one last true Cena face cutting promos. I think he goes out like that. But I think it's gonna happen. I was thinking it happens early. I think it happens at SummerSlam and he kind of rides that wave towards the end. But then
he's not gonna lose to Cody as a heel.
Yeah, correct. But I'm saying, but I'm saying he has to drop the belt. So maybe Rollins cashes in on him if that's how you want to do it. But he has to drop the belt before then. And I think you turn face and trying to get in that one last wave to get it back.
I say at least 10 dates left. Let him have 10 dates to make the turn. That's when it starts. But
he got to lose the belt too, right?
I think we should look at the calendar and see where's his dates at. And that would be a better barometer. Is he going to be in Boston at one of them dates? Like that will tell you.
That's the last one, though, right?
Yeah, but sometimes they go to more than one time. It might go to Rhode Island. They might go to, you know what I mean? It's different parts in that Boston area.
All they got to do is go to New England, and that's
New England area.
Northeast area.
Yeah, that's all his territory. So, yeah, you're right. It could be interesting to track that. Let's take a look at these brackets. So the Final Four. It's crazy how many people were in this tournament technically, but they did 4-way matches. So that kind of like knocked the tournament down in like 2 weeks. But we got Sami Zayn and Randy Orton, and then you got Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes as the Final Four, all baby faces, which is weird for WWE to have all four people be baby faces. The winner, the finals will be at Night of Champions to determine it. If I had to pick right now, I think it's going to be a first-time matchup between. I can't even say that. Maybe they do go Sami Zayn versus versus Cody Rhodes.
That's what I was thinking.
But see, if Cody's not winning the whole thing, I have him lose now. But I think he's winning the whole thing. So. But I could see Sammy winning it too. To me, this is good booking. I don't know.
The problem was with his bracket, you knew he was winning.
Did you? So, his
foursome, yeah. You knew he was winning. So,
but you didn't know Jey Uso was going to be his opponent in the second match.
I mean, I think that wasn't done until they made the decision to take the belt off of him.
Well, so I think they knew all along. That's why they kept it as a mystery opponent, because they knew they couldn't have exposed that he was going to lose. That's why they put it as a mystery person as the fourth guy. They knew he was going to lose. Who you got?
I got Cody and Sammy.
Cody, Sammy, who winning?
Yeah.
Who winning?
Sammy.
Okay. Who you got, Justin?
It's either, to me, I think the finals is going to either be Orton Cody, or Jay and Sammy. I see it playing those two ways.
I don't see it being Jay and Sammy.
And they friends, so that's something to build off of. So that's a story to tell. Because if you do that, then you could Seth can be involved. Seth definitely could be involved.
That's what I was going to say. But I mean, I don't think we're going to.
The reason why I don't have
this fourth member as well.
I'm about to say the reason why I don't have Cody winning, because they saw something. They had to see something when Seth was sitting right there and they had that face off like that. That was like organic heat. Like they wasn't building Cody and Seth or nothing like that. Like they was and they wasn't, but it wasn't like we was anticipating it every week. But when they squared off, I was like, yo, the buzz was crazy. So they and then once you start messing with the Rollins 3 or 4, then as a result of that, they come back for you. So there might be a reason why Cody does not win. So then you got Jay advancing. Yeah, and then I think I like Jay, Sammy. They're gonna want Sammy to win because it's in Night of Champions, is in all Saudi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I would want Jay to win.
But here's the thing. I don't think Jay's winning. I think he had his run. But I think you save Randy for a contender because that match is they're going to do Cody and Randy. That was supposed to be a feud last year. But that got the legacy background to it. It's a lot of backstory there.
You don't waste that on.
You don't waste that in a one-night tournament. You know what I mean?
The thing I would like to see is if Jay does win this, and then I would like to see Jay versus Gunther in something other than a regular match. It's time for them to take their match, their rivalry to another level. Let's add a street fight. Let's add a cage match. Let's add something, strap match, something else. Whereas though it adds fire to that, and then maybe that would be the last one. They're not over. That's why Gunther shouted out Jay in his promo. I mean, he said he had it for one night, pause.
But I don't think they need to do it now.
Brought it up.
They can come back to that. I think they go Sammy or Cody. I think one of those two are winning this tournament. I really do.
And you got them fighting each other. You got them matching up. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the finals. Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. No, I can't even say that. No, I can't. I think it's going to be Sammy and Jay. And I think Sammy's going to win.
If it's Sammy Jay, I think that opens up so many different storylines. But
they supposed to be boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it opens that storyline up, and then I think it opens up the possibility of the Sammy winning and then Rollins cashing it in. But I think that's so predictable that it can't be that at this point.
But I'll think about how much we've been talking about this. Go ahead.
I'm very interested in the Karrion Kross point of view, the perspective in this. I can't wait till he comes in some kind of way. I don't know whether he's gonna mess something up or help somebody out or something like that. I'm not sure on that angle yet, but Karrion's finally getting some real heat, and he ain't wrestled a damn match in I don't know how long. So that's definitely good for him.
Yeah. Again, the fact that we're talking about all the possibilities. Good job on the bookers because they put some scenarios that ain't exactly cut and dry. You can go a lot of different ways and actually, because then you still have to determine which title you're going to go after. Because at the end of the day, you could go after Cena if you any of these people. You know what I mean? But most likely you'll go after Gunther or whoever's holding that world title. And the fact that Seth is the Money in the Bank person. That just throws a whole other wrinkle into it.
I don't think you choose. I think you go to your respective brand.
And it's at SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, man. That's interesting. All right, the women a little bit more different. We saw a bad injury. Speaking of, by what's her name? Shorty and Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan.
Tore her shoulder out, so it was a freak accident. You know what I mean? But
it was a freak. Unlike Zoe, which was her fault.
That was obvious. This was just nothing. You know what I mean? But Roxanne got her winning her match. Alexa, I think that was pretty much expected that Alexa or Charlotte was going to win that bracket. So for Alexa to get that win, her coming back, I think the best matchup for this would be Jade and Asuka. And have Jade go over, I think that would be more exciting to see. I like Roxanne. I think she'll have a good showing, but I think Jade's winning this whole thing. I think Jade's winning the whole tournament. What's your thoughts, Calvin? You
think she's ready?
Yeah, I think she's ready. I think she's ready. I think she's winning. I think probably will even beat Naomi. No, Naomi's Money in the Bank. She'll beat who's the champion? Damn it. Tiff. She'll beat Tiffany, and then Naomi will somehow, some way, cash in on her and lose. I think she's not winning. Jay's going to be champion, but ultimately it gets to Bianca and Jay for that title. That's what they're going to get to. But Jay's winning this title. I think she's winning this tournament.
That's the African American version. Let's go with the Japanese version. And Asuka could potentially win this and then have a match with EO. And then now you have former members of Damage Control battling at it. That's That's not happening. We're gonna stay black here, and we're gonna go with what you just said because I completely agree. But I just wanted to throw something else out there the last second.
But who you got, Calvin?
I got Jade. I was just kind of going back and forth because I was thinking, I was like, I don't know if she's ready for that one-on-one stage at SummerSlam, and I just kept going back and forth about, is she ready? Does
But the thing
Triple H
about
think she's
Jade
ready?
is, I'm about to say, the thing about Jade is,
she can
Jade was
wrestle now.
champion at AEW for, she's the longest reigning
Correct.
TV champion in AEW history. Like,
how
she's
long-
more than
I'm
ready.
just, I guess I'm just thinking back to when she first came on WWE. I'm just thinking about that, and I'm like,
yeah, they was trying to make her do stuff that's unnecessary. You
I
don't
would say
make,
she wasn't ready for.
let her do her. You know what I mean? You can't just keep trying to stuff a pig hole into a. You know how they say that.
Yeah, but let her win, and let's get to Jade Bianca. Like, we could fast forward to that. So
yeah, interesting. Anyway, that's our show, man. 1 year. 1 year. We appreciate you all for sticking with us. This has been fun each and every week. I know sometimes we're on Tuesday, sometimes we're on Wednesday, but I promise you we're going to get back to our regular, every week. What y'all think? Tuesday or Wednesday? Fellas, we'll talk about that right now. Tuesday or Wednesday work better for y'all?
I say Tuesday. I mean, I say Wednesday actually.
Yeah. Calvin, what you think?
That work.
I think Wednesday gets us a little bit more time into the week, more storylines. We can talk more wrestling because things have already happened. Huh?
I was going to say it'd be during the summer, so it ain't really much.
And because when football go down, it gives us a little bit more time to get ready for the next week and have our full-fledged thoughts about what's coming off of the week. So yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with Wednesday. Wednesday's been cool. Give me more time to get this stuff together. Kenya said Tuesday. Sorry, babe. We voted. It's Wednesday. So
I'm not getting that argument.
I'm on Casey. Thanks, on K. I appreciate you. Congratulations. My cousin Devin in the chat. Happy anniversary, fellas. We appreciate all the shout outs. Been getting them throughout the show. Miss Tracy, thank you. Kenya, of course. Corey said something smart earlier, but he cussed, so I didn't want to post it. But I'll flash it real quick.
I saw that.
But yeah, we thank you all we thank everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate you and your viewership. Yeah, but we thank everybody for tuning in, man. It's been fun. 1 year. Again, we've been talking podcasts a lot longer than that, but this official show, been together 1 year every week, not just doing football, just doing basketball, but we talk everything. We talk wrestling, we talk baseball, we talk UFC, boxing, whatever if there's a sport, we talk it. So yes, and we appreciate you all tuning in, all the comments, all the likes, the shares, all that's been great. Calvin, say something to the people.
Man, football program starts next week. Excited about that. We're getting ready to end this NBA season and start the speculation about where KD, maybe Giannis is going to go. So we get that next week. Draft, summer league, a lot of programming coming up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Justin, say something to the people on the way out.
Hey, look, man. I said this before. I said it last week, and I'll keep ushering this home. We are headed into football season, and listen, if you are if this is a Baltimore production, if you are a Ravens fan, if you are a football fan, you should be following us. We should be one of your weekly stations. Because I mean, we're gonna talk about the Ravens and
you keep it up. You keep it a buck.
Talk about the Ravens.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately,
keep it a buck.
So,
keep it a buck.
Right on. Give us a follow. Why not?
We appreciate that. And yeah, look, we definitely can touch it all, but the Ravens is our heart. You know what I mean? We're gonna really hit it home. Lot to talk about. And this Jair Alexander move today really just gave me that feeling again, man. I'm ready. I'm ready. After you lose a tough playoff game, I don't want to think about football. You know what I mean? I don't
take a little bit.
But I'm done with it. I put it in the past. I've moved on from it. Now I'm ready. I'm ready for a fresh dose. Y'all know I work down in the stadium, so getting ready.
And the first game is prime time, right? I can't remember the schedule off the top of my head.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's I don't remember who they play.
It doesn't even matter. It's football, baby. And we drafted live at Ravens Stadium this year. Calvin, tell them about that.
Yeah, they have a little program every year, not little, where you can draft inside of a suite, get a tour. So it's going to be an exciting experience for us. I'm excited to get down there, and it's open bar.
My. So we're gonna take some video, maybe do a little content live from the press suite, baby.
We're gonna do that.
We're gonna do that early. Before the drink start flowing, we're gonna do that early.
Yeah, we do a little live content. We'll go live on Facebook.
It may get real towards the end after mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my equipment and we'll set it up. Do a couple check-ins right overlooking the stadium. So yeah, we're gonna bring you into the world of drafting with these guys. You know what I mean? None of them win, but they do play all right.
I won 2 years ago.
I won 2 years ago.
I won 3 years ago then.
I won never in this league.
I was going to say, when was this?
Anyway, all good. And we appreciate y'all, man. 1 year. And it's fun. We got many more. And again, tell somebody about the podcast. We'll be back every Wednesday now. So remember that, not on Tuesday. But some weeks we might be Tuesday, depending on, just stay tuned. If you pop on your Facebook and you see us talking, or the next day you at work and you see the video, just go on and hit play. And we only talking about only thing that matters in the world of sports, all the latest and hottest news. We'll be back next week for another edition, and we appreciate you. We're going to start our countdown, looking at all the teams around the league, counting down to the start of the regular season, and we're going to do a Mount Rushmore of each team in the NFL. Who's on those Mount Rushmore? For example, the 4 blessed players from the Tennessee Titans. Justin's going to tell us about that next Wednesday night. So that'll be interesting, getting that list together. Give us a little preview. Who's won some of the people we might talk about there, Justin?
Cam Ward.
It might be a decrepit person. It might be a person that's no longer with us. It might be a lot of things on this list. You never know. It's wild in Tennessee.
Yo, that's wild.
Is barely moving, baby.
Damn it. What a way to end the show. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back next week. For Calvin, Justin, happy anniversary, gentlemen. Oh yeah, and happy belated birthday to Justin. We hope you enjoyed your birthday last week, brother. And we'll be back next week for another edition. Get off the damn fence. Thanks for tuning in.
You putting the